Alright, so this is only because I'm going to a TNA house show in 2 weeks. I'm going to try and get back into the product. And I'm going to start this video off with a little bit of a rant. Now, I paid $150 for good seats for one reason. So I could see Velvet Sky. Now that the internet got their wish, and that boring, stubborn bitch Fail Kim retained her title, the chances of seeing Velvet Sky live are slim. So I ended up wasting money to see Fail Kim hog the spotlight, because if she doesn't get what she wants, she'll throw a bitch fit and leave the company like she did with WWE. Why do people like her so much? Because she's a good wrestler? Is that it? So what? Her entire championship reign has been a snooze. People think it's bad when someone has to carry another wrestler through a good match. In Fail Kim's case, it's the opposite. When she's not wrestling in the ring, she relies on other people like Karen and Madison to carry her through a decent feud. Besides that, every feud she has now is the same. Hell, there's some people complaining now that we're only getting to see a select few of knockouts in the spotlight these days. You know why that is? Because Fail Kim's beaten everyone already. The only person she hasn't beaten is Brooke. Everyone else she hasn't gone against yet is a heel, and she's not going to drop the belt to a heel, so congratulations, Internet. You got what you wanted. Fail Kim is the champ, and now there's no one she can contend with except the people she's already beaten. So when she gets done with Brooke, then what? People were so strongly against Velvet Sky winning the bout just for the fact that she's not a good wrestler. At least she'd make an entertaining champion. If you want to see knockouts like Angelina and Winter now, you gotta put up with seeing them in a comedy angle with ODB and Eric Young because they can't go after Fail Kim's belt. All I'm asking is, where is the positives in Fail Kim having retained the title at Lockdown? Because she has good matches, is that it? TNA's slogan may be wrestling matters, but is wrestling the only thing that matters? If so, then why do people complain that we need better storylines? Why not just throw Fail Kim out there to wrestle the entire Knockouts roster every week? Why do people complain that we should have storylines in the Divas division when they can just have Beth versus Natalia every week for no reason? If I'm wrong, then let me know, but from what I've seen, fans are extremely biased when it comes to someone who they consider to be a good wrestler. Perfect example, Chris Benoit. I'll end my rant on that note. So now that that's out the way, TNA tonight actually kind of got me back into the product. They introduced this new fight night concept that actually sounds pretty awesome. But with the stipulation being that if someone calls you out, you have to fight. Does that mean if Rob Terry wanted to fight Christy Hemme in, let's say, a Falls Count Anywhere bra and panties match inside a steel cage, does that mean that Christy would have no choice but to accept? This is actually something that kind of gets me a little interested to see what they do though, so maybe I'll be tuning in more just for this concept. I'm also kind of liking the main event scene right now. Bobby Roode has been entertaining as champ. Didn't think he would last this long though, since TNA does have a history of weak title reigns. Seems like everyone that's champion now though has been champion for like 2 years now. And I'm also glad that Mr. Kennedy is back, since he's one of the most entertaining things that TNA has right now. And him leaving out of nowhere last year was one of the reasons I kind of lost interest in TNA. And I do kind of like Jeff Hardy. It's great that he's actually back on the right track, and we'll have to see how much longer that lasts though. I mean, it is National Brownie Day tomorrow, after all. We'll have to wait and see if him and Matt aren't celebrating on their YouTube channel by then. Speaking of potheads, I'm not a big fan of Bob Van Dam. The only time I really cared about him was in 2006 when he won the WWE title. I mean, he's still an alright wrestler, but the guy sucks at everything else. Anyone ever heard any Bob Van Dam promos knows what I'm talking about. Wasn't his contract with TNA supposed to expire though, and he was going to re-sign with the WWE? I'm also happy that Brooke is getting a spotlight now. I've always been in love with her since her Extreme Expose days. It just sucks that that greedy bitch Fail Kim is just going to squash her. Seriously, people have such a problem when it's Jeff Jarrett hogging the championship and killing everyone to feed his own ego, yet it's perfectly fine when Fail Kim does it. I swear, if Velvet Sky isn't at that house show, expect to read headlines on the dirt sheet that says, "Crazy fan rapes Fail Kim at a house show." Aside from that, all the wrestling on TNA is just about better than ever. All the matches get a good amount of time. Their feuds may not be anything great, but at least they're being a lot more consistent as to what they used to do, where you could have one guy that kills the other guy's family, and then the next week they're a tag team. And I see that Crimson's still undefeated, and I see that still nobody cares. I mean, they can have him remain undefeated for 10 more years, and I bet nobody will care when he actually does lose. That's how much Crimson's undefeated streak means to the wrestling business. But the only thing about TNA that makes me want to tune out is that referee guy that they started pushing last year. I have not seen one segment or match he's been in since last year, and I honestly don't care to, but from what I hear, the guy sucks. Anyway, those were just quick thoughts about TNA. Sorry if this wasn't the best review ever, but I just wanted to say, fuck Fail Kim, and TNA is starting to do a lot better than what WWE is doing right now, at least. And anyways, it's been MTO with the MTO More review saying yada yada yada, blah blah blah, the end.